Right guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to the only person on YouTube who's going to do their Euro predictions in a completely non-biased way because it's not coming home and my country's not even in it, so I can't just pick us to win. So I really don't care at all who wins it, so 100% unbiased predictions for Euro 2020. Let's get into it. So, starting with Group A, and it has to be Italy, the top of the group. Now, they've not been in the best form the last couple of years. You know, it's not the Italy side it used to be. They failed to qualify for the World Cup, but I still think the likes of Insigne, Immobile, and the overall quality of that squad compared to the overall quality of the other teams they're facing should be enough for them to top that group pretty easily. Now in second, I'm going to go Switzerland, and they're the kind of team you look at and you think, Switzerland, what are they going to do? Who are they going to beat? They can't be any good. But you look into them and you realise there's Jan Sommer, Shaqiri, Dennis Zakaria, Granit Xhaka, decent players in that team who can easily do a job for them. So I think they're going to get second. Now for third, I have faith in Gareth Bale to get Wales at third position. I think they can do it. He does say Wales, golf, Madrid in that order. Now I'm not sure how good Gareth Bale is at golf, but he's decent. He'd be even more decent for Wales, and he does always show up for Wales realistically, so I think they're going to get that third spot and leave Turkey down in fourth. Group B, quite similar at the top in that it's a runaway in my opinion. Belgium have to easily top that group. De Bruyne, Lukaku, Courtois, it's a great team. Obviously, defence, maybe not up to standards. The likes of Jason Denayer in there, he's not top tier. But the overall quality of the team is just far better, and they should win those games quite easily. In second, I'm going to put Denmark. A bit like Switzerland, in that you look into it, or you look at them and you think, who's Denmark going to beat? What are Denmark going to do? Kasper Schmeichel, Christian Eriksen, players capable of winning you games. So I think they're going to have the power to get that second place. Between Russia and Finland for third, Finland have Hradecki in goals, good keeper. But I'm going to go Russia. Now, I didn't rate Russia in the past. I looked at them and I said, it's only Russia, who are they going to beat? But I've seen them at the World Cup and they impressed me. I thought these guys can play a bit of football. And what they do, the players that they call up, they all play for the same 2 or 3 teams in Russia. And that gives them that automatic bit of team chemistry. You take England for example, players coming from all over the Premier League. Russia, they have that chemistry where the players know each other already. That helps in international football, so I'm putting them third, leaving Finland down in fourth. Group C, again, top of the group. It looks sort of written before a ball's kicked. Has to be Netherlands. Now, I have to say now, looking at the Netherlands team, the selection, the players been called up, I'm not impressed. I don't fear it. Certainly if you're a big team playing them, they get through this group. If they play a France or a Portugal or even a Belgium, I wouldn't fear Netherlands. Obviously some good players, De Ligt, Wijnaldum, Depay, I'm hearing Van de Beek's actually been ruled out, so he's out, along with Van Dijk. And just some of the players that have been called up, I don't think they're great quality, but again, overall quality of the team versus those opponents, they should still win the group. It's between Austria and Ukraine really, for second, isn't it? And I rate Austria a little bit higher. I couldn't name an Austrian player off the top of my head right now, but I think it's the kind of game where when Austria play Ukraine, you're looking at a 2-1 or a 1-0 Austria, and that's going to be the difference. That's going to get them that second place. So we put Ukraine in third, and they're a bit like Russia, actually, in that their players all come from the same 2 or 3 clubs, and it's that same team chemistry thing that's going to really help them out. And I think everyone is predicting this. North Macedonia left bottom of the group. I think they'll struggle to get any points, but you know, if you keep an eye on players like Enis Barty, who could really turn up and do something at this World Cup and maybe impress people on a personal level. So Group D now, and as we all know, apparently it's coming home. England, on paper, that team should maybe not win the Euros, but should be in the final. They should be able to compete with the likes of a France on paper. Now we know England bottle it at major tournaments, but again, they should be good enough to just top that group. They really should. In second, I'm going to put Croatia. Modric, Perisic, all the itches. Mandzukic, maybe. I'm not even sure if he's called up. Haven't looked at the Croatia team. They've done so well to get to that World Cup final. I do think England will pip them to the top of the group, but they'll still go through, relatively safely. Now I'm going to go for a bit of a wild card. Well, I don't think it's that much of a wild card, but nobody is backing them. I'm putting Scotland third. I think Andy Robertson can drive this Scotland team into third place in this group. I'm hearing it's going to be Robertson at left back, Tierney left centre back. It's maybe John McGinn in midfield. It's not an awful team, so I'm putting the faith in them to get that third spot. Not saying they're going to get through, but they can finish respectable third spot and leave Czech Republic at the bottom of the group. Group E now, and I'm going for Spain to top this. Spain quite similar with Italy and Netherlands in that it's not an amazing team in my opinion. It's not the Spain of old, certainly. Especially the attack. I mean, Gerard Moreno is not going to win you the Euros, lads. But, again, the overall quality. You look at Poland, who I'm putting second. Poland have a better striker than Spain. But the team behind that, I would say Spain have the advantage. They have the better team, and that's what's just going to pip it for them. But Poland definitely getting second. The most informed striker in world football right now, Robert Lewandowski. He's just going to fire them through. Between Sweden and Slovakia for third, I'm going to go Sweden. Obviously no Zlatan, but I think Alexander Isak up front, young player. I think he's just going to do enough, and the Swedish team is going to do enough to just get that third place. But I do think it's going to be pretty... I think there's going to be a gap. I think Spain and Poland are going to get through. There's going to be I think there's going to be at least a 3-point gap maybe 2-3 points. It's not going to be a 1-pointer or anything, but I do think Sweden will grab that 3rd place and Slovakia down in 4th. So Group F now, the group of death. I mean, look at that group. But I still think there's a clear favourite, a clear powerhouse at the top of the group, and it has to be France. Mbappe, Griezmann, Benzema, Kante, Pogba. What a team they've got. They have the capability to beat anyone in that tournament. If there is a team who could win every game in that group, it's France. They might not. I don't expect them to. It's a tough group. But if anyone would be capable of it, it would be that France team. Now, for second, it's between Portugal and Germany, isn't it? And I'm going Portugal second and Germany third. 2 reasons. 1, Cristiano Ronaldo. He always shows up for Portugal, doesn't he? And 2, that Germany team. It's not the scariest Germany team I've ever seen. They're on the same kind of issue as Netherlands and Italy, and that, yes, it's a good team. They'll beat Hungary, or they should. They would beat a Sweden or a Slovakia. But I don't see them beating France or Portugal. I don't see them beating those top nations. They could maybe get past England because they're bottle jobs. But if you are England and you face them in the round of 16, don't fear them. I wouldn't fear them the way you used to. And obviously, Hungary, they're going to struggle down at the bottom. They could have a North Macedonia situation where they could end up on 0 points, not because they're not a good team, right? They're on a higher level than North Macedonia, of course they are. But France, Portugal, Germany, I don't know where they're getting points from, but if they do get any points, it could upset that top 3 a lot. It really could, because they're all relying on who gets the best result against Hungary. I mean, Hungary is their biggest game. Those 3 teams all need to beat Hungary, because the minute one of them drops points and the other 2 beat Hungary, they're in a bad position. So that's the groups, and then the 4 best 3rd place teams go through. Now, I'm looking at the groups. Who's going to get the points? I think Germany will get those points. I think again Ukraine. I think Austria and Ukraine be very close between who goes through, because I think they'll all beat North Macedonia. Between Russia and Sweden, for me, I'm going to go Sweden, because I think they can get a win against Slovakia, whereas I think Finland might, with Hradecki in goal, might put up a fight against Russia. And I think Wales can beat Turkey, maybe get a point off Switzerland. So I actually think Wales have a chance at getting through in 3rd place, lads. Knockout stage now, and we don't need to talk a whole lot about this. It's common sense. Belgium to knock out Sweden. Italy to get it done against Austria. Again, the overall power of the team, just too good. France and Wales, I feel, would be a very, very good tie, actually. I feel like it would just be an interesting one to watch, but obviously France just going to overpower them. Another interesting one, Croatia and Poland. Modric, Lewandowski, who can lead their team? Because of that World Cup performance, I want to go Croatia, or part of me says Croatia, but you know what? I have this feeling that Lewandowski is just going to score a ridiculous amount of goals for Poland, and he's just going to fire them through. And I think that's what's going to happen. Poland would go through. Spain to get past Ukraine shouldn't be an issue. England, Portugal, as we know, it is coming home. And by it, I mean the England team. And by coming home, I mean on the plane early. Because Portugal are knocking England out in the round of 16. England can't hack it. They'll bottle it, as always. It's just not for them, major tournaments. So Portugal to knock out England. Netherlands, Germany, another great tie. I'm gonna go Netherlands. I think Netherlands would have that extra bit of energy about them. You know, when I look at the players that the two teams have called up, Germany have called upon some veterans in this Euros, and I think Netherlands just have the extra wee bit of pace, that extra yard, you know, that extra bit of stamina at the end of the game to get it over the line, and that would be the difference. Switzerland and Denmark's a tight one, isn't it? It's a big chance for both these nations to get through the next round. I feel like Schmeichel and Eriksen and Denmark could get it done against Switzerland. So, quarterfinals, Belgium and Italy. As I've said, Italy not with the best team that they've had. Doesn't scare me, and I think this is where it catches up with them. And Belgium, just deal with it, just get past them. I think the quality of Belgium is just better than Italy. And yeah, France and Poland. I mean, Lewandowski can score all the goals he wants. That France team is just overpowered, lads. There's no two ways around it. France into the semi-finals. Spain and Portugal, what a tie. Now, I've said that Italy, not having that great team, that it would catch up to them at this stage. Same with Spain. I think this is where it catches up to them. And Portugal go through to the semi-finals. And Netherlands, I think, quite lucky, because obviously there's no easy games, but they don't have the great team, just like Italy, just like Spain, but they're playing Denmark, and I think they'll still have the quality to get through into the semi-finals. Then, for the semis, lads, Belgium, France, great game it would be, but that France team, just way too overpowered, lads. And now, I said about Spain and Italy getting caught up to, with not having the great teams that we expect from them to be called up, and I think this is where Netherlands get caught up to, and Portugal go through to the final against France. Great final as well it would be, but that France team is just so OP, and France are my Euro 2020 winners. I don't see anyone who can beat them, and if they do lose games and they don't win it, I think that's ridiculous. You know, yes, it's very rare for a nation to win tournament after tournament after tournament, but this France team is definitely good enough, and they should definitely be winning the Euros, and I think personally that they will win the Euros. So lads, that is my Euro 2020 predictions. I think France will do it, but I can tell you one thing for sure, and you can go down to your local bookies, you can put money on this right now. I can guarantee you that Northern Ireland will not win the Euros, right? And in a couple of weeks, when the Euros are finished, you can come back to this video and you can comment on it. You can say, Gibbsy, mate, you were right. Northern Ireland didn't win the Euros. I'm saying it now. Call me a future teller. I know my stuff, lads. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win Euro 2020. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.